In a forgotten corner of the world, nestled among misty hills, lay a village cursed by silence. At its edge stood the Whispering Well, an ancient structure of cracked stone, swallowed by moss and time. The villagers didn't call it that because of echoes or wind. No, it was the voices, soft, relentless whispers that rose from its depths after dark like lost souls clawing for freedom. The rule was simple: never look into the well at night. Those who did never came back the same. Some spoke of a tragedy centuries old, a family drowned in its waters, their cries trapped forever. Others swore it was a portal to something far worse. This is the story of Clara Hensley, a fearless 17-year-old who thought she could outsmart the unknown, until the well proved her wrong. Clara had moved to the village with her parents after a bitter fallout in the city. She was restless, always chasing thrills to escape her boredom. The well caught her eye on her first day, a crumbling relic in a field of overgrown weeds. The locals avoided it like a plague. Old Mr. Grayson, the village baker, cornered her outside his shop, his voice shaking. "Stay away, girl. It's not a story, it's a warning. My brother looked down there once. He's been muttering to himself for 30 years. Clara smirked. "Sounds like a fun challenge," she said, brushing him off. That night, she overheard her parents whispering about the well. Her father, a stern man, said, "They found a shoe by it last year, some kid who went missing." Her mother shivered, and those scratches on the stones like something tried to climb out. Clara's curiosity ignited. She grabbed her flashlight, phone, and a pocket knife, her lucky charm, and slipped out into the fog. The village slept under a heavy stillness, the air thick with an unnatural chill. As she approached the well, her boots crunched on brittle twigs, each snap echoing like a gunshot. She muttered to herself, "Just a dumb old hole." But her pulse quickened. First encounter! Clara reached the well, its jagged rim glowing faintly under the moon. She switched on her flashlight, the beam slicing through the fog. The air felt wrong, dense, like it was pressing against her chest. She started recording on her phone. Day 1, debunking the Whispering Well. Let's see if the ghosts show up. She leaned over the edge, peering into the void. At first, there was nothing but damp stone and the faint glint of water far below. Then a ripple, small, unnatural, spread across the surface. A whisper slithered up. "Clara!" She froze, her breath catching. The voice was childlike, pleading, but it wasn't alone. More joined in, a cacophony of hisses and murmurs. "Look closer. We see you. Come down." Her hands trembled, but she couldn't look away. The water churned violently, and a skeletal hand, rotted, dripping with slime, shot up, clawing the air inches from her face. She yelped, jerking back, but her foot snagged on a root. She crashed to the ground, her flashlight tumbling into the well with a distant splash. The whispers turned into shrieks, high-pitched, ear-splitting, and the well shuddered. 2 more hands gripped the rim, bones cracking as they pulled. A shadowy figure began to rise, its head a mass of tangled hair dripping black water. Clara scrambled up, grabbed her phone, and ran, the shrieks clawing at her back. She didn't stop until she locked herself in her room, panting, the phone clutched to her chest. The next morning, Clara tried to laugh it off as a nightmare, but the whispers lingered. She heard them in the hum of the kettle, the rustle of leaves outside. You saw us. You're ours. Her parents noticed her pale face at breakfast. You okay, kid? Her dad asked. She nodded, but her hands shook. At school, the voices buzzed behind her teacher's words, growing louder, angrier. That night, she woke to a dripping sound. Wet footprints trailed from her window to her bed, smeared with mud and algae. Her phone, left at the well, sat on her nightstand, its screen flickering. A video played, her own face eyeless, whispering, "Why did you look?" She screamed, waking her parents. They found the footprints, but no phone. It had vanished again. Her mother sobbed, "It's the well. I knew it." Clara, desperate, grabbed her knife and a candle from the kitchen. "I'll make it stop," she vowed, storming back to the well as dusk fell. The fog was thicker now, the well a dark silhouette against the dying light. Clara lit the candle, its flame trembling as she shouted, "Leave me alone!" She slashed at the air with her knife, tears streaming down her face. The ground quaked, and the whispers roared into a deafening howl. "You can't cut us!" Black water erupted from the well, thick and tar-like, tendrils snaking toward her. She swung her knife, severing one, but more lashed out, wrapping her ankles. She clawed at the dirt, screaming as the candle fell and sputtered out. The water dragged her to the edge, her fingers scraping the stone rim. With one final cry, she vanished into the depths, the well swallowing her whole. Days later, the village searched, but found nothing. Only her knife, stuck in the ground, blade bent. The whispers grew louder after that, a chorus of torment. And now, if you stand by the whispering well at night, you'll hear a new voice. Clara's, sobbing, "Don't look, help me," before it twists into a cold, hollow laugh, daring you to lean closer.